And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
All right, for the satellite imagery for today, we can see the areas of clouds up here over southern Alaska, up in across the eastern interior, all the way up to the Brooks Range with some shower and thunderstorms going on up there. And next system down here southeast of Kodiak Island, winding up, and that band of moisture caught up in the strong southwest jet, rolling right into the panhandle by midday today. And still a lot of clouds here over southern Alaska. Again, most of shower activity over the east side up to the north. Drier conditions back out to the west, more or less. Still some showers out through here going on, areas of light rain. Also along the band of clouds here across the Alaska Peninsula from Kodiak Island in toward the Pribilofs. For flying weather tomorrow morning, marginal VFR for the southeast coast, marginal VFR for the eastern Copper River Basin, Kodiak Island, southern Cook Inlet, VFR Tuesday morning for Kenai Peninsula, Madawaska-Susitna Valley, all the way up to the Arctic coast there, and some IFR right off the southwest coast, covering the Pribilof, south of Nunivak Island, and IFR northern Bering Sea, right up across St. Lawrence Island, through the Bering Strait, and then just clipping Point Hope there, but covering Cape Lisburne on up to near Wainwright, or just to the west of Wainwright. Eastern Arctic coast has some IFR right along the coast. Again, starting the day out, that pulls off to the north for the afternoon, leaving mostly VFR conditions behind for the north slope here. Right on down into southern Alaska will be areas of marginal VFR. And actually moisture will be tending to increase, so marginal VFR will be coming back in along the eastern slopes of the western Alaska Range in the afternoon. A little bit of IFR here over the northern Gulf of Alaska, maybe clipping Cape St. Elias to just south of Yakutat. Areas of IFR here for the Bering Sea and central and western Aleutians, marginal VFR, Fox Islands up into Kodiak Island, Bristol Bay, and the southwest interior. And for the Wednesday morning time, IFR now up into the North Gulf Coast, Prince William Sound, maybe as far west as the eastern Kenai Peninsula inland areas, Resurrection Bay, possibly spilling into eastern Turnagain Arm. Otherwise, marginal VFR south and mostly east of the Alaska Range, but covering the southern Kuskokwim Valley, Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta. North of the mountains, though, VFR all the way up until you get to the Arctic coast. Could be some marginal VFR along the coastline there with possible IFR on the west side. Bering Sea here, lots of IFR, but marginal for the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula. And then not much change out there for Wednesday afternoon. Still a little bit better for the eastern Aleutians than, say, Adak and Atka. Marginal VFR Alaska Peninsula with Sandpoint to Chignik, probably VFR that'll extend up into Kodiak Island. VFR flying there for the afternoon. Shelikof Strait as well. Southwest interior, Yukon-Kuskokwim River valleys, right on up to the northeast, and the north slope again staying VFR. IFR zone right here along the eastern North Gulf Coast, covering Middleton Island, and to near Yakutat, marginal VFR for the Panhandle. Moving on to passes now for Anatuvik, VFR, Adigan, another VFR day coming up there, and Lake Clark and Merrill starting out VFR, but conditions deteriorating into the afternoon. Rainy though, go for VFR the entire day, as well as windy. And Isabel, VFR, Mentasta, same forecast, VFR, Tanita, VFR, Portage, VFR becoming marginal, especially on the eastern entrance, especially in the afternoon toward evening. And for Chilkoot and White, marginal VFR. Freezing levels, still pretty good gradient here across the southeast coast, 8 to 14,000 feet there from Yakutat down toward the Queen Charlotte Islands. That's supporting that good southwest flow, extends back to the south with a cooler air over the southeast Bering Sea into the southwest interior. Icing could be quite a zone of considerable moderate rime icing here from Bristol Bay right into Fognak Island, northward into Cook Inlet, Kenai Peninsula area in the western Alaska Range, as well as the southern, maybe central Kuskokwim Valley areas. And for the jet stream, pretty light out here over the Bering Sea, upper level low with that cooler air aloft through here. And you can see quite a strong jet coming, southwest jet here, 160 knots, takes a turn to the east, diminishes to 130 knots over the northern panhandle. And at 9,000 feet, strongest winds out here to the south and west of the forecast area, but still 45 to 50 knots cutting across the southern southeast coast. Pretty light over the Bering Sea, 3,000 foot winds. This low just south of Kodiak Island, the next one. This one weakening as it tracks northeastward there. Not much winds with that one. This one, the next one here, 45 to 55 knot winds there. Starting to affect Kodiak Island a little bit during the afternoon hours. Otherwise, light winds out here to the west. All of the Bering Sea, Aleutians, and the inland areas. Mainland Alaska, turbulence. Not much talk about here. Maybe some possible isolated moderate turbulence there for the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island, and along the southwest coast. Now,